Seems like Jimmy Butler's taken that approach with his own teammates. Chris, from my perspective, I'm wondering what you think.
Yeah. Okay. So with this one, this is intriguing. So I used to, and when I played with Juwan and other guys in the NBA, I remember one practice Juwan and I had where we would always practice on the same team, and we would, it was great. We were encouraging our team in Washington, and one day we kind of had to, not formulate, but almost say, I was like, I'm playing with the second team because we're going to beat y'all. The first team is too lazy. And he would say the same thing. But everyone knew that what we were trying to do was make the third team better and let guys know that you can win with anybody and this locker room is equal and those type of things. And so if that was Jimmy Butler's goal, to piss people off and to say, hey, we can win with this team, great. But if it was anything else, it's just not cool. Like, I didn't like what he and D-Wade did that time in Chicago, saying the guys don't play hard after the game. That was BS. That's just throwing guys under the bus. And in this situation, I know Jimmy's a tough player. I love his game. I love his story. But how can you have a successful locker room with this? Like, I hear everybody, and I know a lot of hoopers don't like talking about hoopers and all that, but this is a bad situation. You got young Wiggins there. Everybody's saying he doesn't play hard. Nobody knows that. I remember people said that about Tracy McGrady because of his body language. So nobody knows if Wiggins plays hard or not. Nobody knows if Cat plays hard or not. You know why? Because they have a terrible offense. You could talk about they were fourth all you want last year. Playoff teams I was talking to, they were like, we're going to kill them in the playoffs because they play regular season basketball. You can win during the regular season playing regular season basketball. Wasn't impressed by their 1-point win over Denver at home to make the playoffs. I wasn't impressed by that. So I think they're feeling themselves too much. I don't see Michael Jordan on that team yet, and I think that Towns is one of the best young big men in the game. And I'd like to see this team be athletic. I'd like to see them get out and run. I'd like to see them get out of their way. And so to me, Minnesota, the last 2 years has been my favorite team and my most hated team because I love them because of their potential, but, they don't play like a good young team. And I think everybody, the coach, everybody has to look at themselves and say that they're a part of it.
Well, I mean, what your colleague on Turner in his in Area 21, I don't know if KG needed the curse button or not, but he said that Glenn Taylor, the owner of the Timberwolves, doesn't know basketball. He might have said it in a little bit more of a not safe for work way. I mean, so what if Butler is in a situation where he's just trying to get out of there, Chris?
Well, then Tibbs got to let him go. Like, for him to say Tibbs likes that and he liked the fact I did this at practice, that's BS. Like, I need my coach to be on my side, even when you're beating me up and making me better. So I'm just saying that it just doesn't feel right. You're starting the season. So what are your aspirations, Rich? What are your aspirations if you're a Minnesota player? To make the playoffs, to win the championship, or just to get to December and January and hope you don't have to try to fight a teammate? You got families tweeting others. Like, it's just not a good situation. Like, it's almost like starting a marriage off, after you both try to kill each other and then you make passion levels. Oh, no, it's going to work. What we did last night, that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, where do you go from here? I don't know. I was always the guy that had to try to help control the locker room. And for me, if we were friends, like to talk a little football.
Go for it.
I didn't like how the offensive line did Le'Veon Bell. I never got on a guy for getting his money. Never. You can always go get your money. It's not a family. They'll trade you Isaiah Thomas tomorrow. Go get your money. Okay, that's one thing. But to talk about us and then want to come back in the locker room and then to tell stories to the media about me and all that, we're not having that. I'm going to see you in the locker room. So I think that, maybe they're, it's a different day and they're better men than all the men that have come before them, but I don't know how you do with ego and competitiveness in the locker room, Rich. I don't see how this can work at all.
And they're in San Antonio tonight. They open up in San Antonio tonight. I mean, we'll see how it goes, and we'll see if Jimmy Butler's there. I mean, crazy. It really, I haven't seen anything quite like it. And
when he leaves, Rich, what are they going to say? Like, now, what pressure did you put on Cat? Like, what pressure did you put on Wiggins? And don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, if I'm a Minnesota fan and Butler gets traded, maybe he helped our team more than any coach, any GM, anyone could, because what he said about these guys is going to linger with them their whole career until they disprove it. And so maybe this is the fire that you need to start it under them, but you can't have that guy around all the time after you start the fire.